Bless up, family. What's going on? This is Theodore Helvi'virr here, founder and CEO of the HOH Collective, author of More Than Just Surviving Life, and I'm glad to have you here with me today. They call me Big Teddy. And this is the More Than Just Surviving Life podcast, just like the book. And what this is about and what we've been bringing to you and giving to you and sharing with you is a lot of positivity, a lot of upbeat information to help you realize, achieve, do, accomplish, conquer, go forward, capture, and grab all of the things that you want and all of the things that you're looking for. So, what I'm going to jump into just from the beginning is what makes me qualified to tell you this? What says I'm doing so well, and how do I achieve this that makes this something I can tell you guys and have any credibility, right? So what I'm going to read to you is something from one of the two places that I live. And the two places that I live that mean the most to me in the world are, first, the Kingdom of Hawaii, being the islands of Hawaii, and I'm a resident of Oahu. And the other place that I live is Aotearoa, or New Zealand. And what I'm going to read from you, the first day that I came to New Zealand, right? I went to the CBD, and that's the waterfront. And down in the waterfront, there's this big stone block, okay? And it says the following: it's true you can't live here by chance. You have to do and be, not simply watch or even describe. This is the city of action, the world headquarters of the verb. And I'm telling you real shit, when I read those words, I knew I was exactly where I was meant to be. I'll say it for you again. I knew I was exactly where I was meant to be. Okay? I am an American Canadian. I'm from New York and New Jersey, grew up in Jersey City, New Jersey. You cannot make it to this place, to this part of the world, by accident. I'm going to take it further. You cannot come where I come from, go through what I've gone through, and make it to this place, this part of the world, by accident. You cannot achieve these distances by mistake. In order to reach these things and reach these goals and to become a son of these islands and to call these places your home, it has to be a conscious act. Everything I've done, everything I do, everything I share with you, everything I've created, everything I've been a part of in my adult life has been a sincere, forced effort act and just reaching for and hunger for more, for better, an effort of will and striving to become and achieve and reach all of these things that I desire from life. And every day I'm working on those more. Every day those goals grow bigger and more vast, and I race towards them further and further. There is no point that I've reached, that I can reach, in which I'm ever going to stop. And I want to help you guys find, get, achieve, lock down, even if it's just a little bit, a piece of that for yourselves. And it doesn't have to be big and overreaching and world changing. It could be as simple as making your schedule realer and getting out of bed every day on time, feeling better about yourself, being consistent about your workout, because if we want to talk about the positivity and the motivation and why I do it, this is why I got into it, to help and share these principles, to help people do and achieve. This is so important to me. This message is so important to me. Sharing it with everyone is so important to me, especially with the way the world is right now and with everything that's going on. Okay? My book, which I plan to share with you guys through these podcasts, and if anyone wants, you can find the information for them. It's on for sale on Amazon right now. We're working on the audio book the same time as we're working on the podcast. And when I say we, I mean the HOH Collective is all about people, our people, black and brown people, helping you, helping us to become healthier, to become stronger, to become more accomplished, to become doers and thinkers and responders and feelers and achievers and growers, and to do all of that together and for ourselves. Again, I'm going to say those last two: together and for ourselves. All that wind you hear in the background, which I appreciate you bearing with me through, is just Aotearoa saying hello and sending her love to you guys, right? So, another accolade. The point of this, again, and how we started getting all this information out, was the book, More Than Just Surviving Life. My first book, and the second one is in the works now. This is an idea that I was sitting down, and I'm listening to different things, how to get your information out, how to process, what can you do if you have these ideas that you want to share? Write a book. And I said, okay, all right, I'll write a book. 4 months later, I was finished writing my first book, which at this point in time has made it to top of minority studies and become an Amazon bestseller, okay? Which has made it to the top 100 list in books on mental and emotional health, competing with, in minority studies, icons and idols of mine like James Baldwin, and in health and in mental health and happiness, people like Steve Harvey, who I don't necessarily rock with, but the man is definitely successful. Okay? For me, this is about sharing and helping people do what I've done and helping people learn from what I do so that you don't have to make my mistakes. Because something that I'm truly proud about, and learning from mistakes is a big part of it, but something that I'm truly proud about and proud of is that I have the blessing to know enough to learn from other people's mistakes. And part of this podcast is me trying to give that to you and share that with you. I learn from other people's mistakes. I listen very well, okay? So I'm going to jump right into sharing as much information with you as possible. But the important part that I wanted to do is build this understanding and build this rapport of not just, okay, well, why is he talking about this? What gives him? I'm a doer. I'm a doer that has achieved a little bit and is working on achieving a lot more. And I want to help you achieve your piece of that and get your piece of that and become a doer. Something that stops us so heavy that happens in ourselves and happens outside of ourselves when you are a member of Black and brown communities is doubt. A lot of it is self-doubt. But that self-doubt didn't just appear out of nowhere. It didn't just show up overnight. It's not something that you were born with. A lot of that self-doubt comes from our communities and how our parents were raised and how their parents were raised, you know? And it's the lack of belief in you can do this or you can do that. So many of us are always waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I want to be the first person to tell you right here and right now, if your number one focus is waiting for the other shoe to drop, if you're so busy figuring out what can go wrong and what's about to go wrong and what's not going to work and what's not happening and what you can't, you don't do it. You can't do it. This is why a lot of us don't get there. You don't believe, but you've been taught not to believe, even in yourself. So a lot of this process that I'm going to talk about with you and that we talk about in the book is learning to unlearn the doubts and the negative habits and the negative traits that keep you from moving forward, that keep you from getting started. I'm very fortunate to be able to share with you all the things that I'm going to share with you, because it's not just about starting for me, but that's the biggest part of it for a lot of people. It's about doing, making it to the middle, making it to the end. I love completion. And it's also absolutely worthless. And the reason I say that is because I'm so focused on achieving the next goal, on achieving the next task, on being motivated, that I'm never slapping myself on the back and saying, I did it, this is dope. No, my guy, there's no time for that. If you're not screaming free Pimp C, what is you saying? What? If you're not screaming free Pimp C, what is you saying? This is, it might not make any sense now, but we're going to keep saying it till it makes sense. I'm giving you real talk right now. You cannot be focused, and this is part of it as well. You cannot be so focused on one thing that you're not constantly moving towards the next thing. And what we're talking about right now is the biggest and most important part of starting. It's goal orientation, goal actualization. Fixing on a point, on that hunger, on that desire that's going to get you out of bed every morning, on that hunger, on that desire that gives you life, on that hunger, on that desire that keeps you breathing. Because I'm going to tell you real. Again, all of this is always going to be real talk. We're going to make it as positive as possible. We're going to make it as upbeat as possible. But this is going to never stop being real talk. You got a lot of people that are young and dead. You got a lot of people that are old and dead. You got a lot of people walking around every day already, dead inside. You've seen them. You might be one right now. You look in their eyes and there's nothing inside. They're not living for them. They don't know how to live for them. They're not achieving happiness. They don't even think it's a possibility. They don't have goals. And not because they don't want goals, but because the only thing they believe they're capable of and deserve is A to B, foot to mouth, Monday through Friday. Is that what you want? Because that's not what I want. I've never been able to breathe that way. One of the most dangerous things to me in the world is the feeling of drowning. And there are people, these same people, drowning in their lives every single day. That banging you hear is my beautiful next door neighbor banging out this noise and this message, trying not to catch this. But I'm sending it to you anyway, regardless. And the reason you can hear that in the background is because we're guerrilla podcasting. You get one apology for that, but I'm kicking it. Getting the information out there and talking to you guys about this is so important to me that I couldn't wait for my new mics and everything to get here. It was more important to drop this cast and start sharing this info, to build this rapport and build this relationship and let you know who I am, what this is about, what this is going to be about, what we're doing, and why this is going to keep moving forward. Because my goal, my desire is to share and to help us grow as a people, to help us support each other and achieve things that we've never thought were imaginable. How do I do that? I speak my truth. That's the way for me. I educate myself so I can educate others. So this beginning, and that's what this is for us. This is our beginning. This welcome mat, this jump in from me to you, we jumping out the window, okay? We're going hard and we're not going to stop running. That is going to be the momentum of these casts, of these episodes, and of everything we share and of everything we talk about as we learn about goal orientation, as we learn about actualization, as we learn about how we combat those doubts in ourselves that we wake up every day with, how we combat those fears and how we feed on them the way they feed on us. That is what more than just surviving life is about. That's what the podcast is about. That's what the book is about. That's what the HOH Collective is about. And that is what we are doing every single day. We are working hard. We are working our heart out to race towards these goals and these dreams and these patterns that we wish to achieve so we can do more than just survive life. Because the reality is most people are barely doing that. What I want you guys to start thinking about, what I want you to take away from this, if you're still listening with me, bless up. I appreciate you. I sincerely, okay? Because this is not talking just to hear myself speak. I do this for my culture, to let them know what a nigga looks like when a nigga's in the roaster. Industry shady, it need to be taken over. We definitely going to be talking about Hov. We're going to be talking about everybody that's done it. Everybody that's doing it and how we do it better and how we do it for us. Because it's not about reinventing the wheel, but it's also not about trying to be someone else. So we're going to talk about the Jays. We're going to talk about the Diddies. We're going to talk about the Oprahs, okay? We're going to talk about we're hitting them all. We're hitting them all. What I plan to deliver to you, what we will be shooting for, what we will be reaching towards, okay, is discussing all of these majors, these black and brown moguls and world movers and shapers and changers that have done for us and do for us, to learn how to do that for ourselves. Okay, and we're also going to talk about the reason and the ways that we enrich our community, because it's not just about get rich or die trying. It's not just about making money. It's about what we do for our families and our people and our culture and our communities with that money, with what's already there and what we bring into it. I'm going to tell you in all seriousness, it has to be about more than just getting money. And a lot of people are listening to this right now and they're hungry. You know what I mean? And them bills is real. And that job is stressing them. And their boss is stressing them. And they're like, you talking some bullshit to me right now. Because money makes the world go round. I'm telling you, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. If you're not happy, and I speak from experience on this, making what you make and how you make it, no matter how much you make, it's not going to be enough. No matter how much you make, it will not bring you happiness. Survival is not enough. You cannot exist simply for the sake of survival. And I tell you this as a jumping out the window, this is what I do. Paragrades, I run right through them. You know what I mean? Like this is as a person who's moved to multiple new cities, new countries, new states that I've never been to before. No plan of action. All right, we here now. I got this much money. Let's get it. Okay? And I'm telling you, as a person who has had the top and the cream of the crop and dined and I'm telling you, I'll show you guys pictures in my tuxedo of me at the New York City Ballet Spring Gala, okay, for Fashion Week and attending these big name events. I'll show you that. I've been there. I've done that. I had all of that. It did nothing for me. It did nothing for me. It's bigger than that. I love my people too much. I love you guys too much. I have too much truth to speak and too much good, solid information to share and to give to not be doing that. And that's why I'm here. That's why I walked away from the suits and the shows and the champagne. Okay? Because I'm telling you to kill time. To kill time. I used to go to the Waldorf Astoria on a sunny afternoon and just sit in this big, beautiful chandelier room and drink $16 glasses of wine. Drink $30 glasses of wine because I got bored. It did nothing for me. If I'm not pouring all I have and all I am into changing this world, okay, and I'll give you the equation. I'm going to run it down for you. Because we're going to wind this down and then we're going to come back some more. But this is the intro. If you want to change the world, you got to change yourself. And that's what this is about. If you want to change the world, you got to change yourself. If you want to change your world, what? Break it down, make it smaller, bring it back. If you want to change your world, you have to start with changing yourself. I'll tell you some words I never forget, and we're gonna wind this down and we're gonna close this out, you know, and then we're gonna come back to it. But to tell you some words I never forget, and this was by a person that I did not enjoy. It was for a boss that I could not stand. And I'm telling you, I spend most days at work wanting to choke the life out of this little man. Even enjoying my check, I wanted to choke the life out of this little man. But something he told me that I'll never forget and that I share on a regular basis with so many people, okay, is life is 90-10. 10% of things that happen to you in life, you have no control over. 90% is how you respond to it. And that's as real as it gets. Let's break it down. Let's take it deeper. And this is the note we're going to flush out on. A show that I love, Justified, right? My boy Raylan Givens. And this is a real dude. And he said, you know, my daddy told me once, if you go throughout your day and you meet an asshole, you met an asshole. If you go throughout your day and you meet 10 assholes, you're the asshole. 90-10. 10% of shit happens to you. You have no control over it. 90 is how you respond to it. Okay? And so what we're going to learn together and what we're going to talk about together and what we're going to share together and what we're going to keep hammering in until we get it and we're doing it. And it's the newest and dopest part of life for us every day is learning to look at life differently. Learning to handle, manage, and think about life differently until our thoughts are moving our actions in the directions that we want to go in. And on that note, I'm out. Bless up, family. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for coming in, for tuning in. We will be back at you. One.